Okay, so we have been working on one-step equations. Now we're going to move to two-step equations. So write this first problem down in your notebook. 2x plus 3 equals 11. And let's just think about what that actually means. On one side of your equation, you have two cups that represent, that have an unknown amount. And then you have 3 positives, and then on the right you have 11 positives. So think about how we would have modeled the solution. What we would have done is removed or added 3 negatives here and either subtracted or added negatives to each side. So now we have 2 x's, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 positives. So what you're actually doing is dividing 8 by 2. So these 4 positives go with this x or this cup, and then these 4 here. So first you subtracted and then you divided. So we're going to solve it the same way. So we don't have to change it to addition because it's already in addition. So we've got to isolate our variable. We've got to get the x's just on one side so that we can find the value of them. So how do we get rid of 3 positives? Well, we add 3 negatives to both sides. So then 3 positives and 3 negatives zero out. So we are left with 2 x's on one side. We have 11 positives and 3 negatives. That means we have 3 zero pairs. So that means we have 8 positives left on the right. So then what we actually have to do is divide by 2. We're dividing those x's up, and then we're dividing by all of the positives by 2. So these divide out, and so we're just left with 1x. So each x is 8 positives divided into 2 groups, so each x is 4. Alright, so now we have to check it. So we rewrite the equation, 2x plus 3 equals 11, and then we substitute in 4 for our x's. So 2x means 2 times x, so 2 times 4 plus 3 equals 11. So 2 times 4 is 8, plus 3 is 11, and then 8 plus 3, oh, well, that's not working. 8 plus 3 is 11, and 11 has the same weight as 11. So yes, for sure, our solution of x equals 4 is correct. Alright, write down this next problem. 3x minus 4 equals 2. So the first thing we need to look at is, let's change 3x minus 4. Let's add the opposite of negative 4. So 3x plus negative 4 equals 2. So we have to isolate our x's. We have to get our x's both on one side. So we're paying attention to the left side of the equation. So how do we get rid of these 4 negatives? We add 4 positives, and we have to do that to both sides. So these guys zeroed out, the 4 negatives and 4 positives, so we're left with 3 x's equals 2 positives and 4 positives is 6 positives. So think about what this means. You have 3 cups, and you have 6 positives on the opposite side. So you are dividing those cups by 3, and you're dividing the positives by 3. So you are going to be left with each x receives 6 divided by 3 is 2 positives. So now we need to check it. So let's rewrite it. 3x minus 4 equals 2. And let's go ahead and change it to addition. So 3x plus negative 4 equals 2. Alright, so 3x means 3 times your x's. So we're going to take our value of x, which is 2, and substitute that in. So 3 times x is 3 times 2 plus negative 4 equals 2. 3 times 2 is 6, plus negative 4 is 2. 6 positives, 4 negatives is 2 positives, because you have 4 zero pairs, equals 2. And that is a balanced equation, so yes, we were correct that our value of x is 2. Guys, please make sure that you're not just watching this once and saying, wow, Ms. Howard, I really didn't understand that. That was really confusing. Please watch it several times. If you need to watch it 5 times and pause and rewind, then rewind it. All right, let's look at the next one. Okay, so this one's different because it has, oops, let me move that down. It has negative 3x, but we're still going to work it the same way. So we need to isolate our variable. We've got to get just the x's on one side. So we have negative 3x's and 2 positives. So we've got to get rid of those 2 positives, so 0 those out with 2 negatives. So we add 2 negatives to each side. So now 2 positives 0 out, and we're left with negative 3x's equals 13 negatives, and 2 negatives is 15 negatives. So just like we did up here, we divided each side by 3, and up here we divided each side by 2, oops, we're going to do the same thing here. We are going to divide both sides. Instead of by 3, let's divide by negative 3. So now instead of, and think about what this means. A negative divided by a negative is positive. So we're just left with positive 1x equals negative 15 divided by negative 3 is 5. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. So let's just now put that into our equation and see if it works. So let's rewrite it. Negative 3x plus 2 equals negative 13. So instead of negative 3 times x, we're going to put in negative 3 times 5, because x is 5, plus 2 equals negative 13. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15, plus 2 equals negative 13. Negative 15 and positive 2 means you have 13 negatives, and that is equivalent to 13 negatives. So yes, we were right. Our answer is 5. Okay, I'm about to give you some more problems that I want you to work and turn in tomorrow. If you didn't understand this, don't come in and tell me I didn't understand. Watch it again. That's why I do the videos. So, copy down the next problems, and they're due tomorrow. Okay, so make sure you follow these directions just as I have written them. These problems are exactly like the first 3 that I just worked. Copy them on a separate sheet of paper. Show your work just like I did, and check your solutions.